Hi, my name is Steve Snyder, and this is my presentation in Module 6, Unit 1, Activity 1, Unpacking Standards. For this activity, I have selected the Common Core State Standards, which I believe were published in 2022. The standard that we'll be looking at today is Reading Standards for Literature, Grade 4. This standard has three main sections. Section number 1 is refer to details and examples in the text when explaining what the text says, explicitly and when drawing inferences from the text. Number 2 is determine the theme of a story, a drama, or a poem from details in the text, as well as summarize the text. And the third standard is describing in depth a character, setting, or event in a story or drama, drawing on specific details in the text, such as the character's thoughts, words, or actions. So in unpacking the standard, we need to look at the different verbs and nouns that we can see in the standard. So for this presentation, I have underlined the verbs and I have bolded the nouns. So if we look at the very first part of the standard, it says refer to details and examples in the text when explaining what the text says explicitly and when drawing inferences from the text. So the goals for what the student will do will be referring to something in the text, explaining what the text says, and then drawing inferences. So referring, explaining, and then drawing inferences. Maybe we can use another word such as reflecting on what the meaning of the text is, drawing meaning from what the text is. And then the nouns in this part are the details, examples from a text, as well as inferences from a text. So not just what the text says explicitly, but also other meanings that we can apply from the text through further interpretation. The second step is determining a theme of a story, a drama, or a poem from details in the text, summarize the text. So we have verbs like determine and summarize. So determining what? Determining a theme from details in the text. So looking at a story or a drama or a poem and deciding what kind of story is this? What is the theme of the story? We will look for details in the text to find the theme of the story. And the second part of this one is about summarizing the text. So condensing the information of the text into a smaller size and just looking at the more important parts of the story rather than the details. In the third step, we have describe in depth a character, a setting, or event in a story or drama, drawing on specific details in the text. So in this part, we will be looking at description, and we will draw upon specific details. So what will you be describing? Describing a character, a setting, or event in a story or a drama. So this one is referring to a specific part of a story, such as a character, a special event in a story, or the setting of a story, and then using very specific details in the text to draw upon that information. So what are the big ideas from this standard? Students are able to understand what a theme or message of a story is, trying to illustrate. Students are able to condense the content into a summary by demonstrating familiarity and understanding about the story. Students are able to analyze text and understand content contextually and explicitly. So basically it means, what will the students understand? What can they glean from the text? What is the theme? What is the message of the story? The students will be able to condense the content into a summary. So by doing this, they are demonstrating their familiarity with the story and their understanding and their ability to reduce the less useful parts of the story and just kind of get to the real meaning and the meat of the story. And then in terms of analyzing text, this refers to students being able to look at a sentence or look at a paragraph, be able to read it, be able to understand what it's explicitly saying, and be able to understand what it's saying implicitly as well. And so understanding context is very important in this regard. So I was thinking about different activities and projects that could be possible with this standard. I believe that doing a pre-assessment about students' prior knowledge of types of literature, themes, and understanding meaning and context will be very important. We need to see what the students actually know about this kind of rudimentary literature review. This will also have the added goal of informing the teacher about student background knowledge, and this will help with differentiation in class activities. For a virtual environment activity, in the breakout room, students can display examples of story media in a show and tell format. So in their homes or in their wherever they happen to be, they can draw upon, say, a DVD that they might have in their house or a magazine or any kind of media that is used for consumption If they don't have anything, they can just pull up something on their phone or on the website and then refer it to the class. And then the teacher can assign groups and have students introduce this material to each other and summarize it. And then at the end, students will randomly summarize other students' media. And this activity is also adaptable for in-class lessons, provided students bring material with them from home. For assessments, peer assessments would be very good for this activity. Students can create a simple story for homework with the medium of a story, drama, or poem with a developed character or plot. So I'm imagining that this might be maybe at most a single page of typed text. The work is given to a second student to analyze and interpret. They will summarize the work, and then in groups, the students will collect assignments and assess the work done by other students based on the rubric provided by the teacher. So for example, in a group of like 3 or 4, these students will collect assignments from other groups. They will look at the work, they will look at the summarization, and they will assess everything based on the rubric. We can also use virtual or in-class activities such as Kahoot, in which students can take quizzes on the meanings of words in a sentence or ideas in a text. And this is a summary practice. And here's my source for the standard. Thank you very much for watching.